Amazon return pallets, scam or legit?
Today we're going to be answering that question and giving you guys an update about how our current pallet flip is going. So it's been about a month since we got our Amazon return pallet, so we wanted to give you guys an update about how it's going and kind of get into all the details of the selling process, the shipping process, and some of the fees that go into all of that.
It's been kind of a struggle, but we're getting there. So, but if you clicked on this video, you're in luck because at the end we're going to be doing two giveaways. One from our last flipping video and then the other from the profits so far on our Amazon return pallet. So stick around. There's a YouTuber we've wanted to be friends with for a long time now. His name is Mission Side Hustle. He's awesome. He's trying to grow $500 to $1 million through Side Hustle. So we've never had the courage to ask him because we're just a little bit nervous. So do you think he'll be a friend?
I'll call you guys!
Corey of Mission Side Hustle is going to attempt flipping a pallet for his next side hustle. So go over and check out his channel. He has lots of other really cool, interesting ways to make money outside of a 9-to-5. All right, so we had a lot of fun testing out the bounce house the other day. It definitely works. I don't think there's any missing parts. So someone maybe just used it once and decided they didn't really want it anymore. Anyways, we are happy that it worked and we sold it. So we are shipping it out today. We sold it for $225 plus $40 for shipping. But we have to ship it all the way to California. So we thought today we would walk you through our process. If you've never shipped something large before, there's a few tips and tricks we thought would be helpful for you. So if you remember from our unboxing video, the box that this came in was pretty much destroyed. So I had to go to Lowe's and buy this one. It was $4. Hopefully we can fit it in there. I did buy an extra one in case we can't. So we'll see how it goes. But the goal is to fit it in here and then we can weigh it and measure it so that we can print our shipping label at our house. So typically when you're shipping larger items, UPS is the cheaper option between UPS and USPS. So we're going UPS with this and we can print the shipping label at home and just take it in and drop it off. And they actually give you a discount for doing that. So I'm gonna kind of just walk you through the process, but first we gotta see if we can fit it in the box. Piece of cake. Nice. All right, so whenever we're sending something, we want to make sure to add enough padding so that the item doesn't break when we're shipping it. That would be terrible. There's on there, just kind of protect it a little bit. Okay. All right, pull up. 41 pounds. It's pretty heavy. So what we're gonna do is enter that info on goshippo.com and then print our label so that we can just go drop it off at UPS. All right, so after entering all the info, we found out that it's gonna cost us $57.98 to ship. So about $60, but remember we're getting $40 for shipping. So not too bad. So by using a site like goshippo.com, you actually save a lot on shipping. I'm not really sure how they do it, but it's probably 20% cheaper than if you were to take it into the store. I know $58 still sounds like a lot for shipping, but remember this is an extremely heavy item and we're shipping it about as far as you can over to California. Sometimes you get lucky with items and we'll only have to ship them to like Ohio. We live in Michigan, but this time was California, so sometimes it happens and that takes a little bit more of your profit, but we're still gonna profit around $200 on this bounce house, which is almost a third of our initial investment. So this is definitely a good item to sell. All right, let's go ship this thing out.
All right, so we got some bigger items to ship out today. What I did when listing all the items from the pallet is I chose to list my most expensive ones first because I just wanted to get our money back and get rid of the big stuff too. So this box down here was our most valuable item. It is an air purifier. We sold it for $360, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, $360 we sold that for. It cost us $60 to ship it. I did free shipping to them, so I pay for it. The reason it was so expensive is because we're shipping it from Michigan to California. eBay does offer a discount shipping rate, so I used it through them, but it still was $60 because it weighs, I think, 33 pounds and it's a big box. The reason I offered free shipping is because I think it just looks really good to buyers. I think they don't like to add up numbers, and it just is like a hindrance to people when they want to buy something. I know I'm that way. I don't like to pay for shipping, so you mark it up a little bit and then it kind of helps cover some of your shipping costs. And so that's what I do. I just think it looks better marketing wise. This dehumidifier we sold for $175 on eBay. And then that was including free shipping. And so then it costs us about $33 to ship it. Plus I'll find out what the eBay fees are. eBay also takes different commission rates for different items, so I'm not sure how much they're gonna be charging us for these yet. I'll find out once they pay us what they deduct. So I'll keep you guys tuned on that. Facebook Marketplace is a 5% seller's fee, but eBay does it a little differently. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. So as I learn, I will let you know. So I believe this is our 5th item that we're shipping out off of all 40 of them that were on that pallet, and we already have our money back. So that's good news, but the rest of the items out there are smaller items.
So we just sold this Nespresso for 120 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. We offered shipping, so it's going to Georgia today. But we opened it up and it was in perfect condition, still with the plastic on it inside. It even had the sample coffee still, so it wasn't used at all. It just had some damaged packaging, which is probably why they put it on a pallet. Facebook took a $7 commission, which I believe is around 5%. Then we had to pay shipping costs. So all in total, we're gonna have about $97 we make from this Nespresso. So this item normally retails for around $250. The reason we were only able to sell it for $120 is because there's tons of these for sale on Marketplace right now. So for some reason, there must have just been a ton of these on pallets. So we were definitely way under that 50% MSRP, just like we were expecting from our other pallets we flipped. So we're gonna go bring this to UPS right now. So right away, within a few days, we had the bounce house sold, the Conway air purifier, a dehumidifier, and then also the Nespresso sold. So we were feeling pretty good at this point. But if you saw our first video, there was a lot of really random items that we weren't expecting on our pallet. We went to a local liquidator. So someone buys entire truckloads from the Amazon warehouse and then sells them by the pallet to resellers like us. Mm-hmm. We went and picked out our pallet and we were feeling pretty good about it. We saw some of the bigger ticket items on the outside, but what we didn't see is on the inside there was some toilet paper, some chips, Pop-Tarts. So a lot of things that couldn't really be resold for much money at all. They were kind of just like fillers on the pallet. So which we knew that was definitely a possibility, but just be aware if you are ordering a pallet or if you're looking for one that is a big possibility that you'll have low value but high volume space items on your pallet. So
I think a lot of people have the question, is this a scam or is it legit? Because a lot of people buy their pallets online. We personally have never done that. We go to an actual warehouse, we see the pallet, we see the items, we then put that pallet on our truck. They load it up with their little forklift. And then we bring it home. We know that there are some companies that you can go onto their website and actually order a pallet and get it sent to your house. But we have heard some horror stories of people doing that, paying for the pallet and then never actually receiving the pallet. So we don't recommend it that way at all because we don't know who you can trust. So if you're wondering how to actually find Amazon return pallets near you, what I did is actually just went onto Facebook and typed in the search bar, pallet liquidators. And then because it knows your location, it will show you liquidation groups on Facebook, because that's typically where these people are posting their information. They use Facebook kind of like a website. So they'll post when they're selling them, how much they're for, when they're having auctions, what type of shipments they're getting in. All that information is on there, and a lot of times people can ask questions on there. So just find these pallet liquidator groups within your area. They might be an hour away or even 2 hours away. They might not be exactly right in your city, but Facebook knows your location. So it'll show you groups within your area that are pallet liquidators. So that's how I find all my groups. There's tons of them around. It's getting so popular.
And keep in mind, you're probably gonna need either a large SUV, and then you're gonna have to break down the whole pallet and shove it in your car somehow, or else a pickup truck, because pallets are large. So you probably won't be able to fit them in a small sedan, but you're gonna need an SUV or a trailer or something.
You could rent a trailer.
Yeah, you could rent a trailer.
Those are cheap to rent.
Yeah, U-Haul for $30 you can rent a trailer. So.
Yeah.
So another thing we need to talk about to answer the question, is pallet flipping a scam or not, is how many broken items have we received in this pallet?
So on this pallet, I think we had 3 very broken items, meaning like we plugged them in and they just did not work. We had another few items that had a little bit of cosmetic flaws, but were unsellable. We just couldn't necessarily mark them as brand new. So that was something to consider as well. But out of the 41 items, maybe 5 of them had some issues. So that's pretty good for us, especially because this was a mystery pallet. There were no guarantees.
So for us, on this pallet, it was maybe 10 to 15% items were broken or damaged, which is pretty good. We've had other pallet flips in the past. We did a Walmart one that had probably 50% broken items. So that can change from pallet to pallet. It really depends on, a little bit of your luck. So
Yeah.
And then another maybe 40% of our items were opened and returned. So like the box had been opened, but then there was a good majority of items that had not even been opened yet. And those are the ones that you can really sell for top dollar and make profit.
So on our particular pallet, we had a lot of medical items. And when we opened them, we were like, that's great. These are pretty high priced items. Like these will probably do pretty well for us. But what I found out is that those don't sell very well. I think because a lot of them are covered either by insurance or people don't typically want to buy those used.
Secondhand.
Yeah. They weren't used, but like we got a handicapped toilet riser, and it was still in plastic, but like who's gonna buy a toilet seat from some random girl on Facebook?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
or the leg cast didn't sell either. So
well, that one Facebook wouldn't even let me sell.
Yeah, that's the point,
like I tried to put on the medical boot, and for some reason Facebook said it was against their rules for selling. I tried that one on eBay. It never sold for super cheap. So medical stuff just did not do well for us at all. We actually ended up giving most of it to Jamie's grandparents because they needed it and it wasn't selling for us anyway. But I think it's because a lot of that stuff is covered by insurance for people. So that was kind of our takeaway from some of that stuff. We also got some like food and pantry items which don't sell for similar reasons, as far as who's gonna buy a bag of chips from me when they can just go to Meijer for 50 cents more or whatever,
Yeah, I prefer to go to the grocery store for my food, not to random people's houses. So.
For toilet paper.
Yeah.
Plus we can just use that stuff. So it's like, So all that kind of stuff for us was not a waste, but also not sellable.
I would say out of the 40 items, there was probably 10 to 15 of those type of items that were just unsellable. So
yeah, just kind of too random to sell. Even like we got a brand new white thin comforter, but it was only like $33 new on Amazon, and who's gonna go buy a blanket from someone's house?
Yeah, like there's the bed bug weird thing.
Yeah,
just lots of gross stuff like that. Yeah.
Even though those items technically are worth something, they're only worth something if someone will buy it.
So we took a load to Goodwill, we gave some stuff to my grandparents, and then we used some of the stuff for ourselves. So
yeah,
I know I thoroughly enjoyed the Pop-Tarts. So.
The one piece we did choose to keep for ourselves, our own little special prize, was a really nice blender that makes really delicious smoothies. So I did keep that item.
Yeah, when we looked up the blender MSRP, it was only like $80, and so we're like, oh, we'll just sell that. But we read the reviews, and people were like, this is like a Vitamix blender, it's amazing. So,
sweet.
And we were very glad we kept it. So
it's awesome.
So you get some prizes up from these pallets.
That's
too,
another
so,
thing
yeah.
is like, you gotta kind of hold yourself back. If you're gonna go sell pallets, like you're gonna see a lot of stuff that you're like, ooh, I kind of want that. And it like feels free, but.
So before we give our final answer, is it a scam or legit? We want to talk about some of the fees we had to pay to Facebook, eBay, and also the shipping costs.
So if you guys have never sold on Facebook or eBay, I think some of the seller fees are a little bit shocking and maybe just confusing to you. So I wanted to go over some things that I've learned throughout this process and kind of break down some of those fees. So Facebook, if you sell anything locally, it doesn't cost you anything to list or to sell. So you're not paying any fees if someone is like picking it up from your front porch, they're giving you money and it's totally free. You have to pay taxes, of course. But if you're selling things through Facebook and then you use their platform to ship, which means that you're opening up your range of who you're selling to, helping you sell it faster, but then you're gonna have to be paying a 5% commission fee to Facebook and also paying that shipping if you choose. You can ask the buyer to pay shipping. I personally don't do that because I think that throws a lot of people off and then they choose not to buy it because they don't wanna pay for shipping. I'm that way. So we always offer free shipping, which means that we pay for it. So when I sell an item, I am paying that 5% commission fee on the total price that they paid, and then I'm also paying the shipping. So that shipping charge can change whether they live one state away or across the country. I might be paying $10 to ship it, I might be paying $40, So just be aware that that kind of fluctuates as far as what you're choosing to ship, because if you're not making a huge profit, it might not be worth it to you.
For example, the weight bench we sold locally. Someone came to our house and picked it up. I think we got $50 for it.
Yeah.
But to ship it, it would have cost, $100. So
Right.
it wouldn't make sense to ship something like that.
Right. Yeah. So shipping, I typically try to do smaller items, like yay big or smaller,
Yeah.
Well, I guess we sold the air purifier shipping, which was pretty big. But if that's a higher ticketed item, we sold that for $360, and it still ended up costing me $60 some to ship it, plus another $40 in fees. So I lost like $100 in fees and shipping, but because I sold it for $360, I'm still making a lot.
The bounce house was like that too. It was a bigger ticket item. We sold it for $265, but we had $15 in fees to pay, plus it cost us $63 to ship. So a lot of fees, but it was still worth it because we walked away with $187 profit. So
Right.
You just have to weigh the pros and cons of shipping versus local.
Yeah, and I did try to sell that one locally, but no one here local wanted it. So I could have maybe saved that money by selling it locally, but you're opening up your range to people. So for us, it was worth it to sell it to make that profit faster. eBay is a little different, a little trickier, I think. So eBay takes a 12.5% commission fee, which is obviously over double what Facebook is charging. But there's certain items that do sell faster on eBay for some reason, typically pallet items, so new in-box retail items. And I think that's because Facebook Marketplace, typically things that sell better on Facebook are like curated vintage items, things that are more like
Cutesy.
yes, home decor, stuff like that. So for us, eBay actually definitely was the winner as far as how much stuff we were able to sell through eBay versus Facebook Marketplace. But it kind of stings because they take that big commission fee of 12.5%.
So when we go to flip a piece of furniture, we're going to definitely use Facebook Marketplace, but these pallet items sell typically better on eBay.
So the other cool thing about eBay that I just recently tried is putting things up for auction. So what that means is that people can bid on your item and then bid each other up, and so you're not really sure what you're gonna make until the auction ends. So the auction time is 7 days long, so you have to kind of sit and wait for that. This one particular item, if you guys remember, we got like a, what's it called?
Like a refrigeration cooling kit.
Tester?
It looked really fancy, it looked really expensive.
It was. It cost, I think, $169 new. So I actually started my auction at $69, and over the following week, I saw people bidding on it, and it ended up getting up to $112 is what it sold for. So I was excited about that, but when I went to sell it, obviously there's those fees, that 12.5% that eBay takes, and then I found out that I sold it to a guy in Puerto Rico. So then it cost me $36 to ship, and it was like a small little thing because it was going so far. So again, just you have to be aware that you're not really in control of like how far you're shipping these items, and that number can change. If I were to ship that to someone in Ohio, it probably would have cost me like $8, so.
Yeah, so our profit on that ended up only being around $60, even though the MSRP on that item was almost $170. That just goes to show you that even though our MSRP was really high on this pallet, that with all those different things like the fees and then some of the broken items and some of the weird items, we're actually not able to sell those items as quickly, and we're definitely not going to even come close to that 50% MSRP that we were hoping for.
We do have some items still listed that we're just willing to sit and wait to watch if they're going to sell, but they might never sell. So, but I do think that patience is kind of the name of the game with eBay. Sometimes stuff takes 3 months to sell, and if you're willing to wait, you can definitely, I'm a little impatient, so that's hard for me.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
So our gross profit so far from selling all the items we have is $865. That's after the fees, the shipping, everything. So we're at $865. We spent $650 on this pallet, remember? So our net profit so far is $215. Not great, but I think the longer we sit, the higher that's gonna go up. we have our money back at this point. Now it's just a waiting game, like Sarah said. So
yeah, and I kind of have slowly listed stuff over the last month. I didn't do it all in one day, but I did kind of try to keep track of my hours. And I think that all in, I have about 40 hours into this whole project, and that's pretty much done. I really don't have to put any more time into it. Except for maybe driving to the post office to deliver something. But we're hoping to be able to walk away with about $1,000 profit with this at the end of it. And that's for about 40 hours worth of work, we think. So just to kind of give you a good gauge of what our estimated time versus money was.
So, is it a scam or is it legit? What would you say?
I think it's legit for sure, especially if you're buying locally. Again, don't buy online.
It's definitely legit in the sense that you can make money doing it.
Yeah.
I think doing it full time would be very hard. But if you could sell an entire pallet in 1 month, taking 40 extra hours of your time, so if you spent like 10 hours a weekend on it, or if you did it at night, that's an extra $1,000 in your pocket, which is very significant to a lot of people. So if you were really trying to get ahead, to pay off debt or something like that, or invest, I think it's a great way to do it. It's a great side hustle.
Yes.
But maybe not a great full-time hustle.
Well, some people can definitely make it full-time. There's maybe more risk involved, and it is a lot of work. But I think it's a great option for someone who is willing to maybe 2 hours a night after work, instead of watching TV, you kind of list some stuff on eBay. I don't think it's not that hard. It's just, for me, it was kind of fun to like look up what it's worth and post the pictures and stuff. So like Jamie said, that amount of money can be significant to a lot of people.
One thing that we like about pallet flipping over furniture flipping is that you're not spending hours and hours sourcing your product. You just buy a whole pallet and it's right there in your garage. You don't have to drive around to 40 different thrift stores looking for a good piece of furniture to flip. So that saves you time, gas, and money at the end of the day. So you're gonna have broken items. One other big hassle to it is all the trash. A lot of extra cardboard, and then getting rid of the pallet. Yeah, we did recycle it. You can get rid of pallets. Most people will pick them up for free. It's just another step, but at least you're not spending all that time sourcing. Furniture flipping is a little more creative and fun. We like doing some of the projects sometimes, but if you're just trying to resell for extra money, pallet might be a good option for you.
Yeah, like if you don't have time to go around to these thrift stores because you're working a day job, this is a good option that you can do. Just go pick it up and it's there.
Yeah, like do it at night or on the weekends when you have spare time. So. You're definitely gonna take over your whole garage with stuff though too. So we've been parked outside for the past month. So
yeah, I mean, it's like we have people comment like, well, I don't have any storage space, or that seems really tedious. And like, yes, that's all maybe true and legit, but like we had to give up our garage. We did have to give up some relaxation and TV time at night. So side hustles are a sacrifice. So it's just, if you're doing it just to be like, oh, I want to make extra money because I want a nicer car or something like that, maybe not worth your time. I mean, you decide. But for us, like pursuing financial independence and just being able to live a more free life and investing that money is really important to us. For us, those side hustles are worth our time.
Yeah, and we just want to show people the different ways there are to make money. So if you are trying to get ahead, it's an option. You're not stuck where you are. There's ways to get ahead. So that's the whole goal of our channel and what we try to show you guys.
We would also love to hear your pallet stories. If you guys have tried this, let us know below. We tried to cover everything we could in all of this, but sometimes there's questions that maybe we didn't realize you had. So if you have questions, we do try to answer those. So also comment below those.
It's giveaway time. We have 2 giveaways.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and pick the winner from our full-time flipping It's Harder Than You Think video. 780 comments, so we're gonna do a good scroll. No more peeking.
All right.
I gotta scroll for a while.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. Oh, you're peeking. Okay. Twin Mama.
Twin Mama, you are the winner.
Of how much?
Oh. Better look that up. Let's go see how much you win, Twin Mama. Congratulations.
Oh, twins, cute.
Very deserving.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. I think I maybe wrote in this description.
$208!
$208, woo!
So, if you could email us within 7 days, and we will verify that it's you, Twin Mama, and we will send that over however you'd like to be paid.
Congrats.
All right.
All right, so that's giveaway 1. Giveaway 2. is from we bought an Amazon return pallet for $650. The video we just did a follow-up on. So
far our profits are $215, so similar amount actually. So let's scroll through. This video has 1,155 comments on. So thank you guys. That's super helpful to our channel. Hey, dude, peeking. Seriously.
You're to the bottom already.
Oh, okay. Oop, go back up. All right.
Tash.
Sykes.
Congratulations.
All right, $215 is yours.
Again, just email us at the email in our community tab. No. Just email us at the email in our About tab.
We're really official.
And then we can verify it too. Yes, we're very sophisticated with our
Yes, within
giveaways,
7 days. Tash Sykes.
Congratulations.
Yes, woohoo!
Woo! And again, we just give away this money as a way to encourage you guys. We want to encourage people on their financial journey to get out of debt and become financially free. That's what we're passionate about, and we hope you are too.
Yeah. Thank you guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.